see her yesterday because I got my car done. And realized it was Nurses Appreciation Week. So I asked Mother, I said, Mother, what do you want to do for the nurses? She said, well, give me some ideas. And I said, okay. Now I called my sister-in-law because, you know, it's Mother's money. So I use it diligently. And I don't spend, other than her weekly groceries, anything without letting one of either my sister or my sister-in-law know. And she'll tell my brother if necessary. So anyway, she said, well, what do you think what do you think they've already gotten this week? And I said, well, I will find out. And I was just talking to her and I said, okay, what about cupcakes, Mother? Would cupcakes be okay? Well, do you think they've already had cupcakes? I said, I don't know. I'll have to find out. So I said, what about those little chicken mini things? The little chicken mini biscuits from Chick-fil-A? She said, oh yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. And I said, okay. And then my sister-in-law said, now they have a really good salad, a really good fruit salad at Chick-fil-A too. And I said, okay. So I called about that. And it was going to be like $80 to get all the nurses, you know, and fed for lunch. And I said, Mother, that's $80. She said, well, if I got it, I want to do it. But I thought, no, let me just think. Let me go down there and let me ask them what they've had. And so the lady in the office said, well, we've already had donuts one morning. We've already had McAllister's sandwiches stuff. And I said, well, give me an idea, because Mother's racking her brains and she wants to do something. And so one of the ladies said, well, pizza's good, cookies is good. So I went back down there and I told Mother, I said, look, let's see how much cookies would be. So from the crumble cookies, and it was like $30-something for a dozen. Hang on, Cindy's calling. Let me stop. Okay, that was my cousin Cindy. We had a long chat. We still talking about this plane ride. I don't even know where I was. So anyway, I decided that I asked Mother, I said, Mother, would you like to do pizza? Because there's 8 nurses. Would you like to do pizza? And she said, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. I mean, we went through all the scenarios: cookies, pizza, chicken biscuits, a pound cake from the place I usually get Mother's nothing but cakes. But so anyway, we decided on pizza, and I had worried all night if I was going to forget to order the pizza today. It was like, oh, please don't let me forget. Please. I made myself a note. So last night when I was awake all night, I think I went to bed about 3:30, something like that, I went ahead and ordered it on the DoorDash app. And at 11 o'clock, it's 9:48 right now. So at 11 o'clock, I'm going to call them, make sure they got my order. And so I've sent pizza and salad. And Mother was happy. She was happy with that. So what I have decided to do is do something that will include Mother in the celebration, the Nurses Appreciation Week. Now, growing up, my mother made pound cakes, and she had a pound cake recipe. And I bet you she's made thousands of pound cakes over her life. And I'm going to share that recipe with you. Mother would share it with people, so I'm going to share it with y'all. And I'm baking her one, and I will take it to her room with some little forks and little plates, and I'll have the nurses and the staff come down there as they can, you know. I'll ask them to come down there, and Mother will slice them a piece of cake. I know she'll be excited that it is her recipe and that she is sharing. Because if my mother was able to right now, she'd be baking cakes. Because she baked, and she baked. All right, so let's get started. I typed up all the recipes that I had that I used, and I went in there to get it, and I could not find it. And I remember, back a few months, half a year, one of Mother's grandkids asked for the recipe, and I pulled it out and I sent a screenshot, and I don't know what I did with it. So this was my very first recipe book, and it's just handwritten. It's old, and I had written down Mother's pound cake, and I keep this because it was my first recipe book when I got married. But anyway, I have her pound cake recipe written down in here. Now, I don't know where she got it. I'm sure she tweaked it over the years. I don't know, because Mother is 83, and as long as I've been alive, she's been making this, and I'm 60. So anyway, let's go. First, we're going to use, she always use this. Always. So I got a fresh box of that. And then it's 3 cups of sugar. Let's see. Cream, butter, Crisco, and sugar. So I'm going to 3 cups of sugar in here. So 3 cups of sugar, butter, and it's 2 sticks of butter. And I use real butter. I never use margarine anymore. I grew up with margarine, all right, and then, so the cream, the butter, the Crisco, and the sugar. Now let me tell you about the Crisco. I got it out from under the cabinet today. I opened that lid up, like to knock myself out. It smelled so bad, so I had to run to the store, and all they had was these itty bitty cans, and so it's a fresh can. So let me get this whipped up. Okay, I got that. Now, Mother was a firm believer of sifting her flour. Now, I got out my sifter. Now, I haven't used this in a long time, and I keep it above the stove. If there was a little bitty bug, like a big gnat or something, I don't know. There was a couple little bugs in there. So I can't use my sifter. So then I got Mother's sifter out. Her little, she liked this here too. And I washed it, and I thought, no, that's gonna take me forever to do 3 cups in that. So then I remember, oh, I have this little thing here. So y'all saw me sift that flour. I sifted it in that strainer, but it worked. It worked. Okay, next I'm going to add 1 egg at a time. Now, normally I should be doing this in my, what do you call that big mixer over there? But I don't want to have to worry about getting that out. So I'm just going to do it with this thing here. So I'm going to do 1 egg at a time. And that's what I'm going to do now. I used to be able to crack my eggs one-handed. I'm not going to try that right now. Not on my recipe that's going to the nurses. If I was just making it for me, I would do it, but I don't want eggshells. So it's 5 eggs. Dad nabbit, I got an eggshell in there. Pardon my language. Got it out. I tell you. Mother's gonna be so excited about this. So excited. Another eggshell. Apparently this is my first time cracking open eggs. Maybe I would have been better off just using the one hand. Alright. Looks beautiful. Just beautiful. Alright, next it's going to be add vanilla. And I use pure vanilla. I don't use imitation. And I also have vanilla that I'm making. It's in there. I just had this out in this cabinet. I'm going to use this up. Add vanilla. And vanilla is 1 teaspoon. Oh, I almost added it to the wrong thing. All right. Now this is what Mother does. Alternate the flour and the milk. So I've got my 3 cups of Swan's flour sifted. Adding in my 1 cup of milk a little at a time. A little more flour. A little more milk. Ooh, I probably should have put my apron on. It's like a white cloud of smoke in here. It makes a pretty good sized bundt cake. Just trying to get the flour off the side. All right, that is done. I like to clean up as I go. Whew. Yeah, look, got flour everywhere. Now, Cousin Cindy and I, you know, last night when I couldn't sleep again, I got on Amazon and was looking around, just make sure I don't need something else. And I found this thing that you can, it's a little footrest thing. It's like a little foot hammock, and you hang it from the tray table in front of you, in the seat in front of you. And you can prop your feet up on it, which, you know, I need to prop my feet up. If I'm sitting down for a long, long time, then my knees hurt, even the one that's redone. But so, you know, the doctor knows I'm going and I'm cleared to go. And he just said, just kind of stretch your legs out, stand up and walk, you know, do stuff like that. So anyway, I found that hammock, and I told Cindy this morning, I said, look, I got this hammock because her husband has a bad knee as well, bad leg from an accident years and years ago. So anyway, then she called me when I was baking this cake a while ago, and she cooking this cake, and she said, let's see, Brandon, her son, said that you can upgrade to first class if you want to, and it may be best for y'all to do that since you got medical issues. And he says, you know, I've been bumped up to first class for like $15. The most I've ever paid was $50. So it was like, well, we can do that. Yeah. We're never going to probably ever get back on a plane again. This is our one and only cruise. And it's not like we jet set around the world. So if we can pay $15, at the most $50, for upgrading to first class, we'll go fancy. We're not opposed. So we called Becky. Becky is our coordinator. And she and I, we used to go to church together. Her husband and Chris and me used to go to church together. And Becky said, yeah, you can upgrade for like $1,000. And we're like, no, I'll just put my big curl panties on and suck it up. My leg will be the size of a watermelon, but, and I'll be, you know, shuffling out of the plane, but I can't pay $1,000 to upgrade. Who does that? I don't know if I need that kind of money. I'd be worried about it. But I'd like to try one day, just one day. Maybe on that plane trip to Alaska, I can try to be rich one day. So Cindy and Becky and I, we're on a three-way call. And Cindy gets all our confirmation numbers, and she's going to call and find out how much it is. And see if the Baylesses and her husband can bump up to first class. But then there's also something called seats with extra rooms, extra leg room. So she's going to check on that too. And if it's expensive, we'll just keep it like we got it. Yeah. $1,000 to bump up to first class. How much does the first class ticket cost anyway? We just enjoy the seats. We don't need no fancy meal or drinks or anybody to hand us towels and blankets. Let us just sit in the seat and stretch our legs. That's all we want to pay for. Just that. Well, let me pour this in the thing. Did y'all see me? Do y'all still do this with your flour? You know, you grease the side of the pans, and then you take your flour and shuffle it around. Well, that may be a long lost art. Now, I did two muffins, and I'm going to make Mother a little muffin out of this, and I'm going to make me one too. So I'm just going to dump a little bit in this big old muffin thing. There. And I'm going to put that in the oven. See? Now, the rest of it will go into this thing here. Hopefully. But look how soft and creamy that is. Can y'all see that? It's a little soft and creamy. know it's gonna rise. I maybe better stop right there. All right, I got a little bit left over. Huh. Maybe I can put it in this little thing instead of taking that pan back out. I'm gonna cheat on this one because I've already put everything up. Let's see if this will work. Hopefully I won't burn this. Oh, I didn't write down how long it cooks. I'm gonna say 60 minutes. I'm gonna hit that the timer. Now I know the cupcake won't. And this little thing won't. The kids don't use these little bitty spoons anymore. They graduated up to the next level. But I stir my coffee with them and stuff. All right. Let's just see how this goes. I'll let you know if it rises and it looks good. And I'll be sampling this little side dish I got. And if it tastes good, I'll take it to the nurses. And if it don't, they'll never know I didn't. Y'all, I am not kidding. The bottom of it was burnt a little. But the top looks okay. Oh my gosh. What do I do? Y'all are not gonna believe what I did. Cannot believe I burnt the bottom of that cake. Now my mother told me it takes a good while for that cake to get ready, Vicki. Well, apparently my oven was a lot stronger than her oven because the bottom is burnt. And I've already called the nurses and I told them, look, the bottom is burnt. Do not tell my mother. She will disown me. Y'all. Vicki, I taught you how to make that cake. Why'd you bring that thing up here? I know it. Oh, I know it. If she didn't know it was coming, I would stop by Sam's and get another one. But she knows this cake is coming. I just talked to her. I said, are you dressed? She said, yeah, where am I going? I said, Mama, you're not going anywhere. You're going to take this cake down there to the nurse's station for nurse's appreciation. Oh, yeah. Well, I just got my jeans on. I said, that's fine. I'm just making sure you don't have your pajamas on. Well, no, I don't have my pajamas on. You know, because it is 11. But anyway, oh, the top of it looks beautiful. Just beautiful. The bottom is burnt. So I already called the charge nurse. I said, look, do not let my mother know that the bottom of this cake is burnt. Because I put it in a pan and she can't see the bottom. I should have just cut it off. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I was just shocked that it was burnt. Oh, my mother she will so disown me. I mean to tell you, she will disown me. Vicki, I taught you how to make a cake. I can hear it now. Going down the hall with her pound cake to the nurse's station. I got it at Sam's.
I like it.
You like it, huh?
I do.
All righty. Just got back from taking that pound cake to Mother. Those nurses swore they wouldn't tell her the bottom was burnt. I feel like I need to turn in my Southern Woman card. I don't know. I hope I don't get in trouble for not telling Mother the bottom was burnt. Oh well.